nothing in like it.
Don't be pointing at this.
All right, good morning, everybody. You know, today's assignment, we are doing a reading, and of course you had your choice of what book you wanted to read, and we are going to read The Scarlet Letter from Nathaniel Hawthorne. Nathaniel Hawthorne is one of the greatest American authors. He was born in 1804 in Salem, Massachusetts. You may remember from our other readings that was the town from the Salem witch trials. The book we're going to be reading is this one here by Kaplan. Okay, this is made by the people that developed the SAT, and there's 817 words in here. So when you're reading a page, you have the page here, and on this side is all the vocabulary words that are in here. So this will help you for the SAT that a lot of you are going to be taking later in the year. Yes, Miss Donna, what question do you have?
I think that's a good thing to have.
I do. I wish I had this when I was in school.
Yes.
This is going to be very helpful. There's 800 words in here that are guaranteed to be on the SAT.
It certainly will improve your vocabulary.
And just for information's sake, some of the other works of him, House of the Seven Gables, and also the Blithedale Romance, which is my favorite book of all time. Are you having any trouble with your reading?
No.
Comprehension?
No.
Okay, well, there's something we can do for that. There's a couple of things we can do. Okay? Right here on this board, I have the handout that I handed you earlier that Miss Donna is writing on here. And it's called the Vocabulary Word Sort. What this is some of the words you're going to encounter in the first few chapters. And this can help you to understand the gist of the book and how the flow is going on the plot and storyline. Well, let's read through the words and see if the vocabulary on them. Miss Donna, do you want to read the first word?
Zeal.
Do you know what that word means?
No.
It's like having a passion. Passion for a cause or project that you're doing. Melancholy. Anyone? Adam, yes. Kind of. Melancholy is being sad, depressed, in a down mood. One of the themes that Nathaniel Hawthorne uses a lot is melancholy, because he was a depressed person for most of his life. And in the Blithedale Romance, he did move out to a collective farm because he was tired of life and living. Next word we have patriarchal. Miss Donna, do you know the meaning of patriarchal?
Not exactly.
In this context, patriarchal means the head of a family and a man. Okay, this is from Old English. Some of the word and verbiage in this book is going to be from Old English, so it can be kind of hard. You may need to look up some words. They might be spelled a little bit differently than a normal traditional English. How about perpetuity? Perpetually. Anyone? Perpetually is something that never ends. Say you're looking into the distant future, it's something that will never end. How about devoid?
Not there.
Excellent. Very good, Miss Donna. That's a perfect word. How about magnet? Or magnate, it's pronounced. Magnet is used in a context like when you're describing a business person, usually very rich, and they're described as a magnet. Martyrdom. Yes. Yes, martyrdom. It's dying for a cause. Usually suffering and dying for a cause. Something like Martin Luther King would be a good example. Apparition. Miss Donna, do you know what apparition means? I know you wrote on this earlier in the year in your other paper.
Something you can't see, but is there.
elaborate on that a little bit.
Supernatural, it can have many meanings.
Actually, a supernatural, a ghostly figure, something you can usually see through. Definitely a ghostly figure. I like that, yes. Pious. Being good. Being almost perfectly good. You'll see a lot of churches with the name pious in it. Emaciated. Anyone? Miss Donna?
Less than should be.
Yeah, less than should be. In this context, it's going to be very thin and malnourished. There's some characters in the book that are malnourished and thin, and he uses the word emaciated too. How about creed? A bunch of beliefs, a set of beliefs, an organizational belief. How about obscure? Yes, in the back. Yeah, that's very good. Something that's not clear. That's partially blinded, partially shaded. Hawthorne in his book uses that a lot to hide the meaning of what he wants you to understand, but then he goes at it around a different way. And now we've gone through the words here. We have some categories. Where would we put zeal? Anybody? That's a passion. I would say that would be a human feeling. Melancholy, definitely a human feeling. Patriarchal is a character, a descriptive word. Repentance, I would say definitely a descriptive. Magnet is definitely a character. Martyrdom would be an idea, concept. Pious, definitely a human ideal concept. And another thing I want to go over here, once you're doing this and putting this in here, you guys start to get an understanding of how the story works in general. What is the big picture? Another thing I want to show you is something we can do called 2-column notes. This is when you're writing. Take a piece of paper when you're reading, and what you're going to do is fold it in half. So you got the line down the middle. And then, on the one side, you're going to have the ideas, main ideas, and then over here, what it's supported by. So that when you're going to study in the end, you'll have all the ideas here that you know when you're studying for an exam, and when you open it up, the answer is right here. So you can fold it in half and say, okay, Nathaniel Hawthorne's main idea about the Scarlet Letter was here. Okay, what was the answer? You think about it, and then you open it up, and your answer is right here, and you say, yes, I know that, and I'm ready for the test. And that's called 2-column notes. And you can do that, go on Cornell's website, and they have a free template you can download to do that, just to show you exactly how that looks. So let's go look here in our book about the chapters. The first section is called the Custom House. That section you do not need to read. It's not a part of the book. It's like a small parable that he wrote prior to this. Has anyone started reading yet? Miss Donna, tell me.
No, not yet.
Okay. Anyone else? Yes, Adam. It is a hard read. It is a hard read. Like I said, Hawthorne is from Old English, and that is
Dry.
It can be, yes, it can be dry, but his words and his plot lines are fantastic. And if some of you choose to go to college later on, you will definitely incur these books. Definitely The House of the Seven Gables. You'll see just one of the greatest books of all time. So here again, we'll go over this again. We've got our vocabulary words here. This is called a vocabulary word sort. And this can just help you get familiar with the words in general so that we know, kind of what the author is thinking. And then putting them into these categories here, we can write it out will show you how these words fit in to the whole plot line. Because knowing the vocabulary is the key to knowing the work. And we're going to get started reading right now. We're going to read out the first chapter out loud, and we'll get started on it right away. Thank you. I'm going to start reading just a little bit of the first chapter so we can get a feel for it. First chapter is called The Prison Door. A throng of bearded men in sad-colored garments and gray steeple-crowned hats, intermixed with women, some wearing hoods and others bareheaded, was assembled in front of the wooden office edifice door, and it was heavily timbered with oak. Now, what I want to go through here in this first paragraph is that this is set in the 1820s. So this is 200 years ago. So you're going to have to think that people are dressed differently, people speak differently. Most men all had beards. And the sad-colored garments are always gray, because a lot of them came from the Puritan religious sect, didn't like colors. So, and this is before the United States, when he's writing here about this context. The founders of the new colony, whatever utopia of human virtue and happiness they might originally project, have invariably recognized it among their earliest practical necessities. So the Massachusetts Bay Colony that was formed was supposed to be a utopian community. Well, you know, we don't have utopian communities, but it was tried. So here I'm going to read down the back. This is a classic tale of Scarlet filled with secrets and revenge. And the story also has, like I said, the 818 different words from the SAT. So again, the word sort can help you with the vocabulary, and then putting them in these categories can get you the whole context about the story. And then this is the most important. During while you're reading, doing the 2-page notes. Main ideas over here, the supplemental information over here, and then you fold it in half. So when you're studying in the end, you read the details. Okay, main character, what did she do? Okay, let me think. Yes, I remember reading that. And then the answer is right over here. Excellent study tool that you'll be able to use in this class and for the rest. Thank you.